What's up, LC heads? I got so caught up in the Full Metal Letdown video that I made, pretty much discussing, you know, why for me, this is a meh. But I did forget to actually talk about really what Ed does bring to Last Cloudia, to the game right now, to the meta. Okay, so he is going to give you an interesting way to score some revives for a certain type of party, and potentially it can be a very strong combo, and all it takes is Etheria, right? Because now you have your healer there that has a bunch of revive shenanigans, right? And then you have him not only providing, decent damage for your team, which this guy can do some pretty good damage, right? But he's giving Theria heal protection because he's going to revive the weakest person in your party that dies. So he's got that built in. So that makes Etheria effectively more tanky. She gets to come back and start power healing. That could even be effective in Arena. That would really help. There are some Theria teams in Arena that just freaking pawn. If you can't pin her down and get rid of her, she's just going to keep that team alive forever with crazy AoE heals and revives. So, it is going to give you potentially that cheesy play, right? He's going to be very effective in a team with Theria. Any team where he is going to be the last man standing and get to use his... Because if you think about it, he probably gets you through a pretty bad threshold, and his ability to survive until the last hit, so he's not dying over and over again in one big attack, right? And he has a bunch of ways to come back to life and just be the last one standing, where he can sacrifice, and he's going to come back with at least 20% of his MP, which should be enough to bring everybody back and just give you a fresh start with your party. And if you have a healer there, if you have a Theria there, right, I also believe there's some revive shenanigans that you could try with him, with different abilities we can teach him that we got off of some of the other collabs, right? Where he's going to be getting empowered from bringing people back to life. If I had the character, I could try all these things out and see if that actually stacks and works like it sounds like it should work. But the point being is he's going to be able to provide some good DPS to a team and a bunch of revive utility. And for a certain team where he's going to be the last man standing, and he's going to be able to pretty much hit the reset button for your party once per quest or wave or whatever it is, that's going to work with a simple Theria team, right? Now, personally for me, I don't think it would work out as well, because if I was wanting to do that, it's going to be great for clearing PvE content, for sure. But if I wanted to do that and use my healer Ruto, I don't think it would work as well, because Ruto is probably going to out-survive him, right? And as long as he's not the last man standing, he can't use that ability, and that just kind of gets thrown out the window. So, yeah. Other than that, though, there is some nice stuff on the banner to power a Ruto up, get him 30% more defense when an ally dies, and 30% more to Ruto's defense is pretty freaking awesome, right? So really kind of wouldn't mind that. But yeah, this whole part one seems to be centered around him. The arc ability is really made for him. The last time this collab came around, I do believe the arc had Earth Attack Rise 2 or something on it. I wanted that because that would really benefit pretty much anybody that does earth damage that you can teach that to, right? This arc now has something on it that's really only going to benefit a double hand machine user. So it's not I don't feel that it's that much of a need for me, because that's not really that applicable. I don't feel like it's great for him because it's specifically what he does, right? And he can give you this cool, play on bringing your team back to life and bringing your healer back to life and all of that, and still provide you good damage, right? And especially if you're a fan favorite, it might not be a bad idea to get him and run through the game with him if that's going to be enjoyable for you, especially if you enjoy throwing his kit. Now, I don't have him to try his kit, or we would definitely showcase that. It's typically what we do. And for the sake of the channel, I did do pulls for him. I, of course, did like the lap 1. And I did, I think 2 of the 20 free pulls and the tickets, obviously. But that is really all I'm willing to do. I just don't feel like he is a need at all. And the arc really, I'm talking about just for me. If you enjoy this character and you like his kit, hey, he's going to give you a pretty cool strategy that all you have to do is throw a healer in there, Theria or Sarah, whatever her name is. Either one of them are going to play really well with him. Just off of the revive utility that he's giving. And it's just going to be an easy play, I think, to clear most PvE content in Last Cloudia. You're going to have no problem going through story if your team's able to just continuously revive over and over again like that, right? So, and hey, like, his damage is still no slouch, but I'm on the hunt for the next big pop-up Virgil, so yeah, we're not there. I'm not going to stress over it. I'm holding out for part 2. But I did want to at least put that out there. Like, I don't think he's a terrible character by any means. But honestly, I was looking for flinch proof, flinch resist, anything like that. We don't have anything like that here. And it just, I don't know. I feel like my account's plenty good with the earth damage. And again, these aren't really my favorite heroes from this collab, and I already have him just in his other form, so not really tripping about it. But part two we're gonna have to see, right? But for anybody that did pull him, you still have a pretty awesome character that brings an interesting take on what you can do with the Last Cloudia team, because remember, you can stack other revives on him to really make sure he's the last man standing and he can bring the whole team back, right? And I'm sure he can lay some pretty good smackdown, right? Just, you're gonna have to aggressively feed MP into him, and you're gonna be playing the MP game with him. That's just what I can see from just looking at the character without actually running him. Yeah, so part 2, looking forward to it. But I did want to let everybody know, it's not like this dude's a slouch. It's not like he's really a weak character. I'm just personally not as excited for this hero. And it is what it is, right? Anyway, I will see you all on the next one. Later.